So outreach, they work with homeless youth in the community. Ultimately, what I'm doing is I'm working with them using education as a means for self sufficiency.
So all this is linked to the passion that you have for education.
Yeah, and really helping people. I think that I choose, and I've been okay with working in higher ed this long because that's kind of what helped me. Like going to school helped me to kind of get to where I am today. And I think that a lot of times people don't value education as much as they should, especially black people, which is why I run a scholarship for African American students, because we're kind of taught to be successful through work. And then we're 50, 60, 70 years old and we can't work because our bodies won't let us, and we don't have the education to fall back on. And we haven't been doing what we're supposed to do over the past, years.
So that's what inspired you to go into this field?
Yeah. Well, that, looking at my mom and dad, which, my mom still works. She went back to school in her 40s and she still works. My dad, being a vet, getting Social Security, if it wasn't for those things, he wouldn't be able to afford the things that he can now. And he always pushed education with us. My mom always pushed education with us. And I was young and stupid, and I didn't really think education was that important. But when I see what it's done for me and my kids, especially, being able to provide for them the way that I can because I went to school, because I met people. Even going, like I tell people, going to school is not just going to get your education. You're meeting people, you're networking, and then you never know what opens up. So that's why I want to help these homeless youth who don't normally have anybody to support them, to be able to have somebody that supports them to go to education and build their wealth.
So that's your passion, like the passion that you have is to help people?
Yeah, definitely. And that's probably why I'm still above water. Like, people say, I don't know how you do it. Like, number one, I know I'm going to heaven. Number two, I'm doing something I actually love to do. I just want to retire. I don't want to have a heart attack before I get to retirement age. So I have to watch my stress. It's a lot of things that just...
I hear you say you need to watch your stress today. You say that all these things stressful that you have going on in your life.
They are. The same thing that stresses me out is my passion. Work, it stresses me out, but it's my passion. My kids, they stress me out. But yeah, it's my passion. That's why I say I know it's not necessarily about eliminating them. I just got to learn how to do it the right way. Like, I know I can't stop working. I don't want to stop working, but I have to do it the right way. Same thing with the kids. Like, being a single parent is hard. Being a single parent to 5 people that have their own personalities, they have their own, and they're not babies anymore. So they can...
So how did that, work out for you with, throughout the whole time? Like, how has that worked out for you?
I think it was easier when they were younger, because even though you would think it would be easier now that they're all wiping their own butts and able to wash their own clothes, it was easier when it was younger because I had a lot more help. Everybody likes little kids. Everybody does. They come get them, they buy them stuff and everything. You get to about that 10-year-old range, and nobody likes them anymore. They like them, but that's when the support begins to disappear. And I found that that's actually been the hardest for me, because you want your kids to be involved, but how do you get your kids to every event? Every activity. You want them to be involved, but you also have to work 60 hours a week. So how do they stay after school for cheerleading and basketball and then finances? You have to, the single parent, I've always prided myself on at least being able to keep a roof over our heads. But how do you pay for regular everyday stuff plus shoes and dance lessons and all this other stuff? So probably 3-4 years ago, I saw a big change in all of the kids. Just with, they wanted extra time with me by myself, but I wasn't able to give it to them. We always had to be together, all of us. So I put them in a mentoring program for big brothers, big sisters, just to help them out. Great program, amazing people. It's expanded our wealth a lot in people because we have networks of people that we were never connected with, and they actually love our kids.
And I was about to say, you did that helps you out also.
Oh, absolutely.
That release some of the stress off of you,
yes,
and getting them to do things.
Like I call them my baby mamas and my baby daddies because they pick the kids up from practice for me. Like, my son Idris, he's done all this dance stuff and he's getting ready to start another dance thing and practices 2-3 times a week. I wouldn't be able to pick him up, take him, get him dinner. His big brother is amazing. Tajon's big brother started him a college fund, which was absolutely amazing. He also has exposed him to things that he's never been to before, which is kind of cool. Lord Aja, my 13-year-old daughter is becoming a woman, and she likes stuff that I don't care for, like makeup and eyelashes and all these other things that I don't care anything about. And her big sister does. Her big sister's a hairstylist and everything, so it's like perfect. But yeah, I've had blessings in them. But it's difficult because there's no real, like, if they wrote a handbook on parenting, it would have to be revamped every single child.
Every child's not
the same. Not the same. But this hormone phase, like, man, I don't know. I don't, it's hard. Who likes who's gay, who's straight. That's hard. Who likes certain things, who doesn't, who's getting bullied, who's doing the bullying. That's hard.
So do you think your kids have an understanding of the way that your life works, or do you think that it's a problem with the way that your life works with the kids? And do you think that's what's causing the most stress with them and you, or?
I did at one point in time, and then probably like a week or so ago, when my daughter had her first official breakdown, and we all had to kind of sit down and talk about it. I really don't think she was. I mean, I'm like, okay, what can I do as a parent to make this better? There's no answer. I can't control what the other kids say. I can't control how she sees herself. I told her, I grew up in a household, my parents didn't tell me they loved me. I'm be honest. They showed me, they took care of me, but the words "I love you" didn't come out of their mouth. And even now, as I'm older, my dad says it, but my mom, she's different. I always said I was going to do the opposite, so I tell my kids all the time. But now I feel do y'all just feel like I just say it just for, is it making effect?
Trying to see if they understand what the word.
Yeah, because my daughter, when she had a breakdown, she didn't just have a breakdown against the world, she had a breakdown against me. She said she didn't want to live there anymore. She wanted to go to foster care. And I was like, first, have you lost your mind? But I told her, what can I do to make it better? And she literally, said things that would not be good parenting. Don't make me clean up. Don't punish me for not cleaning up. And I'm pretty sure that this social...
So did you think that was the root of the breakdown, or?
No, because when we got down to it, it was a bad situation. She got in trouble at school. They called me on the phone. Somebody said something to her. She said she was going to smack them. At their school, they don't do well with physical violence. So the fact that she threatened physical violence, they called me. They put me on the phone with her, and she was trying to explain. She was like, well, they said this to me, so I said I was going to smack them. And I said, I don't care what they said to you. You don't tell anybody you're going to smack them. And I think what she heard me say was not what I said. What she heard me say was, I don't care what you think or feel. You shouldn't tell anybody to smack them. So she...
took it out of context.
Yeah. And she basically was like, you don't care how I feel. I reinforced it afterwards, but we had to go through a lot that day. I had to leave work, I had to go pick her up, the other kids got involved because she was like, oh my God, I'm going to go to foster care. And so it was tough, but I feel like I'm doing everything I can. I remember telling my parents they were horrible people, and they were. And they look at me, I'm fine, I'm an adult working and doing what I'm supposed to do. So I just think it's got to go through the motions, man.
But you have to be a good parent, you have to be a good worker, you have to be a good student, you have to be a good... So it's a lot that you have to find a man. You have a lot of good that you just gotta do. And you just gotta find a way to, I guess, make all this stuff fit into your busy, busy, busy life.
Higher power. That's why I pray every day. I pray multiple times a day. I'm thankful for everything. I found a quarter the other day in my office. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Like, I think that's probably the only thing, people, when I like reflect myself, kind of own it. And my kids need counseling. Like, I came to that conclusion. Like, everybody needs to be able to talk, not to me,
openly.
not to nobody that's going to be an auntie or uncle or nothing like that. They need to talk to somebody. It needs to be a safe place, and they need to get that off of them. Because I know I'd have benefited from that when I was a kid. I'm self-aware to the point where I know I need counseling, but it's a lot of stuff that happened at the same time. Like, I stopped smoking, and that was like my vice, and I don't want to be an alcoholic or a crackhead. So I really want to go back to nicotine. So you don't have no stress with it. Exactly. So, like, that's why I feel like I'm trying to figure out what I can do to help with my stress. And that's why I started. I've always kind of dabbled in journaling, but I journal a lot. I pray a lot. A lot. Like, I be just regular walking down the hallway. I'm thankful because I know that despite it all, I have to be thankful for everything. So it's just kind of strange, and it's a lot of stress, though.
Does that relieve the stress?
Does the journaling?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Even though I contradict myself. Like I'll say, I hate everybody. I love everybody. In the same sense.
It's just write down what you feel.
This works.
Just write down what you feel.
Yeah, I just write down what I feel, what I think. It's strange because I'm not really saying I'm trying to be perfect, but I think that as a parent, I try to be perfect. As an employee, I try to be perfect. As a student, I try to be perfect. A volunteer now, I try to be perfect. And it's impossible to do. So.
You try to reach your goals. You try to, volunteer. And you try to do all these things.
Do too much, apparently.
Right.
But I do. I like what
I'm not
like.
Gonna say it's too much.
No, it's not.
It's great.
I just have to learn how to manage it.
Yes.
How do I manage it?
So we have talked about your schooling, your work, your children, your voluntary work, and all the things that you have on your plate, and the things that cause the stress in your life.
Yeah.
You want to figure out a way that you can manage and get the stressors away and all this stuff, and make the kids happy and make your job happy, and also get you a better assistant at your job.
Yeah, that'll make me happy.
So that you can work your 40 hours a week instead of having to work 20 hours over.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for sharing your information with me.
Thank you.
And thank you for letting me be able to hear what you have to say and be a listening ear to the problems that you have going on.
Yeah.
And the end of the session.
Okay.